Hello again. We're back.
Timothy,
Back.
dear boy, how are you?
Back on the screen by the courtesy of Zoom. So, chappers, I've got
Hello.
something for you to think about
Okay.
with marketing, right? There's not any right marketing answers, I don't think, right? In fact, there's probably more than one right answer for any marketing query. For example, you could be faced with a client's problem and go, do you know what? We need to do email marketing campaign. Email marketing campaign is the thing for this solution, right? And said client could also be pitching to say me, and I will go, do you know what? You need to do some good LinkedIn content. LinkedIn is the solution for this. The reality is they are both bloody good ideas and will probably work if you execute them correctly, right?
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of marketers and a lot of gurus pitching that they've got the system, right? Using them is the thing. And it's not, right? There's no one size fits all solution. There is many, many ways to skin a marketing cat.
Yeah.
But
and what's interesting...
horrible phrase, that marketing cat. Sorry.
What's interesting about the guru is just that, like, all their systems are exactly the same. Exactly, not so long ago that, all the American marketers have got their triangle this way, and this person had claimed to created their own system that it was a triangle this way, but it was the same words in a different order. But you're right. And I think, this is one of the reasons that I kind of love what we do, because we have no axe to grind. I love the fact, because, I'm always cautious about, going to someone saying, oh, you should do some Facebook ads. Oh, by the way, we do Facebook ads. I think, and I think, one of the beauties of this is that you kind of no axe to grind. So you can come at it with a kind of a complete kind of clean sheet of saying, look, what's the right thing for this? But quite often there are several right things. And I think what I think people tend to see or tend to kind of think is true is that actually nothing kind of works in silos. Nothing works. Nothing. It's much harder to make something work on its own. I look at some of the campaigns that we've run that have had the most activity, and it's used 4 or 5 things either simultaneously or one after the other. What's the word I'm looking for? Doesn't matter. So for example, we will start with a direct mail piece, because that's something that gets some attention. We will then drop some video marketing through to them, across different social and email. And we've even done hard copy video, which is always quite an interesting thing to do. And that follows up in a phone call and and you've got all these things that you can do. And I think you're right. There is not one thing that works. There are different ways of using different things to achieve different things. As an example, sorry to make a joke, like phone, people have forgotten about the phone. The phone is absolutely brilliant, but people say it doesn't work because they use it badly. So they'll ignore that, where actually the phone is a great something to do, but people don't like to cold call. So, okay, do some steps, do some hard copy video, do some video, do some social before the call comes in. So the call is no longer cold. And it's, I think it's, I can't think, and there'll be some, so forgive me, I can't think of any really good campaigns that are solely just one thing. Well, we're just going to email them. And it's also, that's entirely unnecessary, because it's so easy to kind of integrate everything now. You don't have to do just one thing, whereas perhaps before it was much harder. But I think you're right, man. I think, people need to get off their eye that they right, I'm just going to do some networking, or I'm just going to do some Facebook ads. That's not the route now. It needs to be a variety of things. And of course, and just while I'm on the rant, the beauty now is that you can track all of this stuff. So actually you can do 4 or 5 things. Think that works, and that hasn't. Why does that not work? Should I keep it? Should I change it? Should I bin it? And, and I think it's, again, we said before, it's kind of never been easier to do that.
Yeah, I agree. And to summarize and cap that off, you said it beautifully, right? There's not one good idea, although an AdWords agency is obviously going to sell you AdWords as the solution to the thing. It's common sense, but try other ideas, but execute them well. It's the execution of the idea. You've got to let them go. You've got to give them some time. You've got to try some stuff before deciding it won't work.
And I think, with any of these things, any bit of action is going to push to a thing. I'm always amazed how few people think about that next thing. So, I mean, there's a big kind of sports facility we were kind of talking to not so long ago, and they wanted to do some flyering, which was actually a really good thing to do because it was brand new in the vicinity. There was all these homes that would use the facility, like, do the flyering, but that's kind of where they stopped. You think, well, no, that's good, because what's the point of the flyering? Well, the flyering is there to let people know. So make sure the flyer pushes to a web page. On the web page, there is put your email here and get your first trip free. Once you've got that, then you've got the email campaign. Then you've got a series of videos on that email campaign to keep people warm. So while it's being built, and it's this kind of integration stuff that is, and I'm amazed how many people will use AdWords, but send people to like a rubbish page on the site that doesn't aim to capture any of that traffic. And again, it's so easy and it's pretty cheap to do this stuff, and again, this is where back into it, this overall picture of don't kind of let yourself get kind of dragged into one thing. Look at all the things, but all these things work better, so much better, if you link them in together.
Yeah, very, very true, Mr. Chappers. Very, very true.
Good.
Okay, well, that sums that one up. Let's stop the record.
I like that.
And I'll see you in a minute.
Are we doing that now? Hey.